Welcome back to the Awesome Agents podcast. Today we are talking about India's AI summit, and the numbers here are honestly kind of staggering.
Yeah, $350 billion in combined pledges. That is not a typo. 350 billion.
Okay, so walk me through this. Who is writing these checks?
So the two biggest are Indian conglomerates. Reliance, that is Mukesh Ambani, pledged 110 billion over 7 years, and Adani pledged 100 billion over 10 years.
Wait, so just two Indian companies account for 210 billion of the 350.
Exactly. And then you have the US tech giants. Microsoft committed 50 billion by end of decade. Google put up 15 billion for a full stack AI hub in Vizag.
And there was an OpenAI deal too, right?
Right. Tata signed OpenAI as its first data center customer, starting at 100 megawatts, designed to scale to a full gigawatt. That is a real footprint.
So what is the big picture play here? Why is India going this hard on AI infrastructure?
And Bani said it perfectly on stage. He said India cannot afford to rent intelligence. His pitch is basically the Geo playbook. Remember when Geo crashed mobile data prices in 2016?
Yeah, they made data basically free and onboarded hundreds of millions of people.
Exactly. Same idea here. Build sovereign compute, make AI cheap, run it on Indian rails instead of paying AWS or Azure. Control the infrastructure layer for 1.4 billion people.
That is a massive bet. But I have to ask the skeptics question, how real are these numbers?
And that is the right question. None of these are binding commitments. These are directional statements of intent announced at a summit where everyone had incentive to name the biggest number possible.
So it is summit theater.
I would not go that far. The strategic logic is sound. India has cheap labor, improving power infrastructure, and a huge domestic market, but the timeline stretched to 2035.
A lot can change in 10 years.
Exactly. Commodity prices, interest rates, government policy, the technology itself. And India's track record on executing mega projects is, let us say, mixed.
There was also some interesting geopolitics at this summit. The US had a pretty strong position on AI governance.
Strong is one word for it. The White House technology advisor basically said America totally rejects global AI governance. Their argument is that risk focused regulation inhibits competitive ecosystems.
So the US wants to sell into India but without international regulatory constraints?
Pretty much. And Amnesty International called them out, saying the summit failed to rein in destructive practices. So you have India building a $350 billion AI stack with no multilateral safety framework.
That feels like a gap that is going to matter down the road.
I think so. And it positions India in this interesting spot. They want to be the neutral convener between Washington and Beijing, but the power dynamics in the room were anything but neutral.
Okay, I have to ask about the awkward moments because they were pretty good.
Oh, the summit chaos was its own story. Bill Gates pulled out hours before his keynote. Jensen Huang from NVIDIA canceled last minute.
And then there was the group photo situation.
Yes, Modi lined up the tech leaders on stage for a group photo holding hands, and Sam Altman and Dario Amodi straight up refused to hold each other's hands. Altman later said he was confused about what to do.
I mean, competitors holding hands on stage is a pretty strong visual. I get the hesitation.
It is honestly the perfect metaphor for the whole summit. Everyone wants to be in the room, everyone wants the market access, but nobody actually wants to cooperate.
Let us talk about the Indian startup angle too. There were some local AI companies making moves.
Yeah, Sarvam AI launched 30 billion and 105 billion parameter models using mixture of experts optimized for Indian languages. And Dinani.ai unveiled a voice cloning model supporting 12 Indian languages.
Those companies need cheap domestic compute to survive against the frontier models, right? So the infrastructure play directly enables them.
Exactly. If Reliance and Adani actually deliver on even a fraction of this, it completely changes the economics for Indian AI startups. That is maybe the most important long term story here.
So, bottom line, is India now a real third pole in the global AI race?
The intent is clearly there, the capital is pledged, but summit pledges are not purchase orders. The distance between stage rhetoric and a functioning gigawatt of compute is measured in years, not rupees.
Well said. That is going to be one to watch. Thanks for listening, and we will see you on the next episode of the Awesome Agents podcast.